What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video with Matt and Vin. It's game week 2 this week, and we're going to have some reviews of the games here. Vinny, you want to hit us with a game, or what do you want to talk about here?
Well, I might as well just get it out now, but I got to talk about this Newcastle game real quick because I don't know what's really going on. And it's hard to tell really what's going on with Newcastle until tomorrow, which, we'll get into at the end of the video. But we played Bournemouth. Now, I don't know if you've been following, but Bournemouth has been our Achilles heel ever since Eddie Howe's become our coach. I don't think we've beaten them in the past like 5 times.
I do remember that from last season. I swear.
And this draw was, look, shout out to Bournemouth. At times, they made us look silly. We made good substitutions. First 10, 15 minutes of the game, we were all over them. All over them. Could not finish. Basically, from that point until like the last 20 minutes, we were just getting played off the field. The guy on Bournemouth, I might mispronounce his name, Semedo?
Yeah.
Dude, we made him look like one of the best players in the world. He was all over us. At one point, he took a rip, hit it off the crossbar. The game was not our game. And I got to be honest, we were extremely lucky. I mean, everyone that knows the controversy at the end of the game with the VAR. Bournemouth scores in like the 92nd minute, goes to VAR. Ref calls one of the worst handballs I've ever seen. And I'm a Newcastle fan, so I was grateful for it. But we did not deserve to win that game. That was not a handball. And the fact that he went to VAR and watched it again and still said it was a handball is absolutely crazy. I don't know a single person that agrees that that was a handball. That was a horrible call. So we got our second game where we got super lucky and there was controversy involved. Now, just to wrap it up real quick, I know you didn't watch the game, but
controversy in both games, up by the way.
Yeah, 2 for 2. So we're off to a great start with the referees here.
It's normal prem,
Eddie Howe made good substitutions. Now, we didn't play Trippier. We subbed him in like the 60th minute for Tino Livramento. We took off Murphy for Harvey Barnes. And we played, remember I was texting you the other day, we should check out those 3, Barnes, Gordon, and Isak. Gordon moved over to the right. Barnes was on the left, and Isak was up the middle. That's when we scored the goal. It was Barnes to Gordon. Look at that. So maybe that could be our angle since we're down a right wing. Maybe we could play it. But what I feel like really hampered us, not to go too long here, what I felt like hampered us was Isak kept popping up on the right side of the field. And I don't know if that was to cover for Jacob Murphy not being as strong of a player, or maybe that was part of the game plan, but he kept popping up on the right side of the field. And there was 2 or 3 occasions where he slung it across, which is great, but it's like, dude, you're supposed to be the one that's in there.
Yeah.
We didn't have that guy in the middle of the box getting on the end of his crosses. So
Tonali can be that guy. You remember the couple games he did play last season? That's what he did. So
he scored a goal in his opening game.
If you get Tonali back, he could be that guy for you.
Overall,
I think you're a doomer.
I'm a doomer for sure. Lifelong Jets fan, so I'm always a doomer. But overall, it showed good resilience, and that was the thing. We made good substitutions. It showed resilience, and we were able to get a draw, even in the face that we shouldn't have gotten the draw. So I was a little upset with that draw. I feel like we should have probably handled that game a little more comfortably, but, it is what it is. I'm a little nervous about where Newcastle is heading. We get Tonali back tomorrow, ironically, for the EFL game against Nottingham, so I'm sure he's going to start. But yeah, it was not a good performance from Newcastle at all. I don't know if you watched the game or had any takeaways from it, but it was just not a good display on that game at all, in my opinion.
My one takeaway is you got to remember you're down both of your starting center backs. Right?
That's a huge thing.
Yeah, I understand like that's not going to fix scoring a goal or whatever, but it's like, that's such like the rock of your team. Behind you. Like they always give everyone confidence knowing everyone always has like a lot of confidence knowing like I can rely on my defense. I don't have to worry about getting back. I'm sure players are, thinking like I need to help out my center backs more than ever this week because we're missing both of our number 1 and number 2. So like that has an effect on the whole team. Um, Obviously, injuries were your problem last season too, so I hope this doesn't continue.
Absolutely.
I hope obviously Shar's not injured. He's just got the red card, so he'll be back tomorrow.
No, he's not. I don't think he's back until next week.
Really?
At
Is it?
earliest.
I thought it was only one game.
Maybe
It might have
you're
been
right.
two.
I'm not
I'm
100%
not sure though. But either way, he's coming back. I mean, Botman's hurt for a little while, right? He's still out for a couple months.
I think he's pretty much done for like until January. From what I understand, I could be wrong, but yeah, he's cooked.
Yeah. I didn't really get a chance to watch too much of the game. Did that other guy play? Your new center back? What's his name?
Lloyd Kelly played left back. Lewis Hall came in as a sub.
Okay.
Actually,
So who played center back?
Target and Botman.
Okay.
Livramento on the right with Lloyd Kelly on the left, and then Lewis Hall came in and Trippier came in.
Who'd you play in the center?
Target
And who?
Botman, not Botman. Byrne.
Yeah, you said Botman. Okay, it was
okay.
Byrne.
No, I meant okay, but yeah, Dan Byrne and Target played in the middle.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, that's like not a very good back four. Let's be honest.
I mean, Lloyd Kelly looked fine, and we were better once Trippier came in, or Trippier came in.
He's playing out of position, right? You don't have Trippier. I mean, what's his deal? Is he just not playing, or what's going on with Trippier?
I have no idea. I think Hal likes Livramento, and I think he has a point. Livramento is a little fresher, obviously. It's up in the air if Trippier is even going to stay on our team as of right now. I have no idea. So that's a whole ordeal in itself. I guess we have a couple more days to find out. But once he came in, we did look better. We looked like our old selves, overlapping runs on the wings and, link up play. Miguel Almiron came in at one point, and, Almiron and Trippier a couple years ago was an insane duo. They looked great. So, hoping for the best, but I don't know. I just didn't have anything good to take away from that game at all.
Okay. Hey, man, it's still early. You'll get some players back. I think it'll be okay.
Hey, points are points, right? Gathering points in the beginning of the year is the most important thing, so.
4 points in 2 games.
So
you got more points than me. So
speaking of you, we might as well just segue right into your amazing game.
Yeah, well, I think I texted you and said, like, I haven't felt like this in years. And yeah, I understand we had games that we won 6-0 last season, but there was just like something that I was like still a doomer, And I don't know. I think this season I just have, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Let's stop. I was saying I have more positive outlook. I don't. I was telling you we're going to finish 11th, but there was just like something about that game where I was watching it and I was like, holy crap, like this is Chelsea, like none of the goals were lucky. Every single one we earned and finished. I think that was always like our big problem too, is nobody can finish. And then Cole Palmer came in last season and he could finish everything. And then now it's like, obviously Madueke was the headline and Cole Palmer, but Madueke looked unbelievable. And man, every single one, what a finish. He scored one last week too, in our conference league game. So, like the dude's good. And he's got 4 goals in 2 games. You got to play him.
Madueke.
Yes. Who did I say? Mudryk or Madueke?
No. I was just clarifying because you were talking about Cole Palmer.
Yes, Madueke. Obviously, Cole Palmer plays every game. I mean, unless he needs a rest or he's hurt, Cole Palmer plays every single game. He's unbelievable. I mean, his one goal was absolute world class. I mean,
yeah.
The whole buildup, just from Sanchez out to the wing, I think it was to Neto or something. Yeah, right. It was to Neto and then back to Cole Palmer, and oh my god, or it might have even been like Mudryk or Jackson or something. But regardless, the finish was just unbelievable, and obviously, like that put him in some good spirits, I'm sure. And it's funny too because he looked so casual afterwards. Like, yeah, I knew I could have scored that. Like, that was no big deal. And then he goes and assists 3 more to Madueke, and I think that was in like 16 minutes. They scored a hat trick, or Madueke scored a hat trick, and Cole Palmer assisted a hat trick. So just like some unbelievable passages of play. I always tell you, like, can a team keep up with Manchester City for 90 minutes, right? Like, you can do it for 60, maybe 70, but those last 20 minutes, can you keep it up? And it made me feel like that, where like they kept up with us in the first half, and yeah, we weren't looking too hot for a little bit there. I was a little nervous, but we came out in that second half and we buried them, and we showed them that this is Chelsea. Yeah, you might be able to score 2 goals on us in the first half, but we're not going to let that happen again. And it was one of those where, like, can Wolves do this for 90 minutes? Clearly not. And that says a little bit about Wolves, right? But obviously, they played a pretty unbelievable team on Sunday. Can Chelsea do that to other teams is the question, right? It's like, yeah, we're playing Wolves. We should do that to Wolves.
Well, I was gonna say, one takeaway that I got from the game, which it was a solid win, but Wolves also had 2 goals disallowed by VAR. This game could have easily been 6-4, 6-5. And then you're kind of going into the territory of, yeah, it was a great win. Madueke with a hat trick. We won 6-5, but it's like, wait a minute. Is 6-5 really a good result when you're playing Wolves?
6-2.
Well, no, 6-2. But if there are goals that were disallowed by VAR, good. You still leaked in the defense. You still gave them a lot of opportunities.
I think it was only one that they disallowed.
No, they had 2 disallowed.
2? Okay, all right.
2 disallowed. And you always talk about finishing the job. In our last video we were talking about, like, someone like Tottenham's got to finish the job. You almost in a way gave Wolves hope, even though those goals were called off. They have this saying in soccer: if you see the ball go in the back of the net, they say it in basketball, all it takes is for one shot to go through the hoop, and then the shooter's going to get hot again.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing the ball hit the back of the net, disallowed or not, is going to give the other team hope. And when you have your foot on their throat, the last thing you want to do is ease up the pressure. And I'm not saying you did, but the way your defense was playing almost kind of could have given Wolves, like, wait a minute, we're still in this game. Even at 4-2, we're still in this game because we're getting great opportunities. And that was just my takeaway from it personally, that you got to just tighten up that defense. And that could have been, it was a great result regardless, but even all the stuff I've been listening to, a lot of people are like, yeah, 6-2 is great, but like it could have been way, way closer of a game.
Yeah, our defense is garbage. I have like nothing good to say about it. I told you earlier that we had, I did a little solo live stream, and we had one viewer come in at around halftime and ask me how I felt. And I said, man, we look great going forward, but our defense is trash. It's just, there's nothing good, right? There's nothing good about it. Our midfielders need to like make up for mistakes from our defenders, and we're playing the inverted fullback. So like, he has to, who is it? Gusto was playing the inverted role from the right this time. And like, Gusto's really good, but he's not like an insane defender. So he's working twice as hard to do, both roles as a defender and as that inverted fullback role. And, Cucurella is basically being forced to play as like a third center back at times. And the dude's not a center back, right? And that's the whole thing with this formation that we're playing, and like the style of football is you need to be able to transition from that 4-back to 3-back to 2-back. And I just don't think our defense is good enough to do that fluidly like Manchester City does, right? Like that's the whole thing, is we're trying to play like Manchester City. Our defense is trying to play like Manchester City. But the thing is we don't have Ruben Diaz and John Stones, and Kyle Walker and Gvardiol. Like, we have Colwill, who's good, but like he's young. We have a bunch of other dudes who nobody knows who's the best. Yeah, Fofana's good, but like he's not insane. Reece James is a walking injured hamstring. So So like you can't rely on that dude ever staying healthy ever again.
He's like that dude in SpongeBob that always just screams out "my leg" in
Yeah,
like
dude.
all the episodes.
That was perfect. That's Reece James. And then on the left, we have Kukurea, who's been really, really good, I have to say. So he's probably been our best defender for the last like 8 months. Even going back to last season. So I don't know. We need to step up in our defense for sure. Because like I said, what's it going to look like when we play Arsenal? Sure, like maybe we can put up 6 goals, but if we play like that, so can they. And the game's going to be, and their defense is better than Wolves, so you're not going to score 6 against them.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. Again, I'm excited because it made me feel like I was watching Chelsea again. It was just like beautiful football at points. Sometimes it is boring, I have to say, where they're just like constantly just passing it around, like short little passes, like Manchester City. But I mean, we scored so many goals. Obviously, I didn't get bored at all. It was unreal to watch. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what we do on Thursday. We have another Conference League game in Switzerland against the Servette. So we'll see.
It was definitely a good result. And real quick before we hop on to the next point here, I texted you today to say, like, dude, my buddy Andres at work, shout out Andres. I know he's watching. He's a Chelsea fan. Dude, Monday was the first time I seen him smile in like 2 years.
Yeah, dude.
He walked in with his arms up like this to me, and I was like, hell yeah, dude.
It's a good feeling.
I'll let you enjoy this for now, man. So that was definitely good. Good result nonetheless. You got 6 up on them. So it's something. It's a start for sure.
For sure. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to a couple more games here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch many, so I know you did.
I want to touch on this Brighton game because I got to be honest. I even texted you right after that game. I think Brighton is scary. Like, I don't know what it is, but they're playing out of their minds. They're playing as if they have like no regard for anyone else in the league. I mean, all across the board. Yakuba Mente, I'm sitting here talking Newcastle doesn't have a right wing. This guy's playing for Brighton, starting every game, and he looks like a superstar already, 19 years old. João Pedro scores a 92nd or 93rd minute game winner against Man United. Like, they were the better team the whole entire game, and they deserved that win. I think that, our predictions are already in, but would it surprise anybody if Brighton finishes 7th, 6th? Like, I don't think so. Not based off of what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep this up, then no. I mean, they look like the Brighton from 2 seasons ago,
When it comes down to, is this game more of a show of how good Brighton is, or is this like, oh, Man United ain't looking too good? You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into that debate because I think that Brighton is amazing right now. I think that they could definitely threaten and be like that team that steals points from like Man City, Arsenal. Like, when it comes down to the wire and they have to play Villa and it's like do or die, is like, I'd be afraid if I was Villa, walking into the Amex, like, oh, well, if we lose, we're out of the Champions League. You know what I mean?
Dude,
because I think playing out of their mind.
That's a hard place to go. That is, I mean,
yes.
I think I texted you and said, like, do you see this crowd after the game? Wasn't that the Brighton game where they were just going insane? Like, nobody moved. The game was over. And like everyone just wanted to stay and party because like they just beat Man U 2-1 at home. If I was going to play there, I would not be excited. That's got to be a tough place to go play.
No, 100%. And lastly, I said, like, is this more of a display of Brighton's dominance or Man United's shortcoming? I don't know if you saw the last goal, but like, it was a crazy goal. But João Pedro was literally completely unmarked at the back post on a cross.
Like, I did see that. Yes, I saw that.
There wasn't anyone within 3 yards of this guy. And not only that, but if
he was sitting there with his hand up.
Yeah, if he
was literally sitting there with his hand up.
Another unmarked man right behind him. You had 2 completely unmarked men in the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
Inside your 6-yard box. How do you let that happen? That to me is bad mentality. and maybe a tactical problem that the coach has. I don't know, but it was a bad look for Man United all the way around. Great win for Brighton, though. I'm excited for their season.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much at all here, but all I'm going to say about Man U is I clearly have no idea what I'm talking about because 2 weeks ago I said they looked horrible. Last week I said they looked good. And this week they did not look good. So is this going to keep happening? Are they going to play good 1 week, bad 1 week? Who knows? I think Man U is just a walking question mark at this point. Chelsea was all of like the last 2 seasons basically, and I think we're starting to transition from that. But it doesn't look like Manchester United are going to be doing that anytime soon. So
No.
all right, let's move on to a couple more games here then. Would you want to talk about this Liverpool game? I remember you saying.
Yeah, I did. The Liverpool game slot starts his Liverpool home career with a massive win, another 2-0 Liverpool dominance.
Again, I'm being proved wrong that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I like the way they look. Luis Diaz is playing out of his mind. Mohamed Salah looks like the Mohamed Salah of like 8 years ago. He scored again. And I like this new, slower build up from the back, more methodical possession kind of game that they're playing. You know, instead of one of the announcers said it's no longer heavy metal football, it's more harmony football.
Yeah, it's true.
It looks great. And then they had a couple, like I was telling you before we started the stream, they had this one play towards the end of the game where it was like 5 or 6 one-touch passes that started on the outside with Salah. It was tick-a-tack all the way, and then Salah ended up in the 18-yard box towards the left. Got the ball and just missed the goal. And I was like, that looked like Barcelona of 12 years ago. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
They brought it all the way up the field, and then boom, 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 5 passes, shot on goal. All one touch. I was like, this is beautiful football. Like, it looked so fluid.
It was.
Shout out Slot gets his first win at home. The fans were going nuts. I'm very curious to see if Liverpool could keep this up. And if they can, they're fighting for top 4, man. They look really, really, really solid. Everyone straight across the board has seemed like they've bought into the Arnie slot.
The big question is, as always, like I just said about Chelsea, is can they do this to Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, you know? Can they do it to Chelsea, whatever? So it'll be interesting to see what they can do because, again, like I said, I'm being proved wrong. I thought that they weren't going to be as good as they were, and they look pretty much just as good as they always have been. So, yeah, like I said, we'll have to see what happens when they play one of these bigger teams.
Yeah, I mean, lastly, they definitely only have the only question mark that I see, and I know it's something they're working on. It's something that they're talking about. They need a center defensive mid, pretty badly. If they don't get one within the next couple of days, then I would assume that in January that's going to be their target to try to get a center defensive mid to tighten it up. I mean, Szoboszlai looks insane, but like he's not playing that center defensive mid spot. So if you're going to do the build up, slow, methodical build up to an explosive offense, you're going to have to get a good, CDM. So if they pull that off and they do get one, that's going to be scary, dude.
They need their Sergio Busquets. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, call up Inter Miami.
All right. Well, what do we want to hit next here?
I know I was talking to you about this Ipswich game, and I know it doesn't look pretty. The scoreline 4-1. Man City's Man City. They're just a machine. But for the first 8 minutes of the game, I texted you. All right, I texted you all capital letters. Ipswich Town. Sammy Smodics. I like this guy. He scores a goal on Man City. It's his first goal in the Premier League this year. He had 27 last year in 44 games for Blackburn with 0 penalties, which I throw that in there because that's pretty amazing to not have a single penalty that inflates that statistic. It's not like he had 27 goals, 12 were penalties. It was 27 basically live goals. So I think he's going to be great. Ipswich is making big moves. They're actually in the talks with Broja from you guys, supposedly. That'd be signing. But what happened very shortly after? Matt, what did I text you? I was like, Man City just scored. Within like 90 seconds, Man City scored 3 goals.
Yeah,
like,
you kept texting me. You were so mad.
It was like something I've never seen. I was like, dude, how did they just do this? Like, I thought Ipswich had them on their heels, and then all of a sudden, Allen and Man City just like was like, oh wait, we're playing a game. Yeah, we should probably try. And they just scored four in like instantly, like the blink of their eye.
My one takeaway here is Ipswich start games really well, and teams are not expecting it. And
Yes.
they have the hardest schedule in the Prem, I'm pretty sure, for the first like month or two. So once they get through these games, if they can catch some other teams out in the first half and score a goal or two and then hold it, their goal is to stay in the Prem. And I think they look good enough in the first 10 minutes of their last two games to maybe just be able to, like I said, catch a couple teams out and keep themselves up.
I think that they definitely 100% can stay up. I mean, in our predictions video, I had them staying up.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, just to start off the video, to start off the season with Liverpool, Man City, and I got to be 100% honest. They had Liverpool on the ropes for a lot of that game. Like it wasn't a Liverpool dominant game. Ipswich was in that game the whole time. And then you come out against Man City next week, score a goal within the first 10 minutes. You can't ask for a better start against two of the top level teams. I think Ipswich will be fine. I liked what I saw, minus the scoreline. And shout out to Sammy for getting off the mark early on. I think that he could possibly be a 10, 11, 12 goal scoring, player for them.
Yeah, most definitely. I just want to pull up their schedule because, who do they play next? They play AFC Wimbledon tomorrow, but then they play Fulham, Brighton, Southampton. So, those are three games that they could win. I mean, Brighton does look scary, but,
they have to get 3 against Southampton.
Their teams, yes, absolutely. What I'm saying is their teams more on their level or closer to their level. I mean, Fulham and Brighton are a little bit above, but they're not Man City or Liverpool. So we'll have to see what they can do against these teams and what they look like. And like you said, Southampton, they have to get 3 there. Have to.
You need those 3 points. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you just mentioned real quick, just to touch on it, you just mentioned Fulham. The Fulham Leicester game, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun game to watch. Fulham, pulled it out. There was a little bit of VAR with Jamie Vardy doing Jamie Vardy things, standing right in front of the goalie when they tied the game. That's just a veteran move.
Chugging Red Bulls at halftime.
They were looking at for obstruction, and Jamie Vardy was like, dude, I'll do whatever I want. And the ref was like, okay, you're right. You're Jamie Vardy. Goal stands. But Fulham looked pretty good. Traore, again, amazing performance.
That dude's good.
Emil Smith-Rowe is making them look good. I didn't watch much of this game, just bits and pieces, but from what I saw, both teams, Leicester and Fulham, had a really good game, and it was, unfortunate that Leicester couldn't come away with another draw. That would have been huge to start out the season with 2 draws against Tottenham and Fulham, but to even be in that game and show the resilience, good on them. Good on them. I have them finish 19th,
most definitely
20th. At the rate they're going, they might make us eat those words.
Yeah, they've surprised me for the first 2 weeks for sure.
Yeah, no, they've been looking pretty solid. I think you told me though that you watched a little of the Tottenham game.
I did. Yeah, I actually watched the majority of that game. They played Everton, but still, I was very surprised with how they looked, especially without Dominic Solanke. I mean, man, Son just does not stop. That dude doesn't skip
like
a beat.
fine wine, dude.
He is unbelievable, and honestly, watching them was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
It was kind of crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but Tottenham came out with 5 attacking players or something like that, 4 or 5 attacking players. It was kind of crazy. They had their formation, they had they were attack heavy.
Yeah, they played a 4-3-3, and their wide midfielders were like I said, wide midfielders. They weren't central midfielders. Kulusevski actually looked insane. That dude is, I think, so underrated.
Yes, he is.
There was the one goal that Basuma scored. It was a rocket. and Kulusevski beats like 3 guys in the box and then just like lays it off to the top of the box, and Basumo rockets the ball. It was a beautiful goal, and I really do think that dude's underrated.
No, he definitely is.
Their wingers, that the kid Johnson, Ben Johnson is his name, right? I'm not 100% sure. I want to make sure on this because I don't want to butcher the dude's name. Tottenham right winger. Nope, not number 22. Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson. I've never heard of this dude. I was like, who is this kid? Clear, he must be like a youth academy kid or something. No, he's not. He just came last season. Never heard of him though, actually. I guess he was on their team all last season. But dude, he looked really good. I was like, who is this kid? You know? And then who else did they have? Odebert. Again, another guy I'd never heard of. He looked good. So it was interesting to see them play that well, because I was like, I think they're going to look insane with Dominic Solanke. And then they looked insane without him. So, again, I think I predicted them finishing like third or something, or maybe you third and them fourth. And you had them third, right? Yeah.
Fourth.
You
I
had
them above Newcastle.
Right. You had him third and I had him fourth. And if Dominic Solanke can come in and do what we think he can do with this team that looks that good, again, I know they're playing Everton. I don't care. They looked really good. But if they can get Dominic Solanke into that team and play that good but better, oh my God, I'm so scared of that team.
See, one thing that I noticed in the highlights that I watched and listening to various things that people touched on is Everton-wise, they never seemed to really put any sort of pressure on Tottenham. And people are choking it up to, as weird as this may sound, it almost sounds like a FIFA thing, EAFC. No pace. They have like no one that's going to turn and burn. So it's like, you know, it gives teams that like, well, wait a minute, maybe we could take an extra 2 or 3 yards. The defense could creep up a little higher because who's getting in behind us?
Yeah.
So again, I didn't watch the game. I don't want to come off like I know what I'm talking about. These are just bits and pieces I've been hearing from the various media that I keep up with, but it makes a lot of sense if that is the case. And any Everton fans, leave a comment, let me know what you think of something like that. But when you're playing against a team like Tottenham or any, big 6, big 7 team, you have to at least have a couple athletic guys who are going to push those lines back and make the defenders think twice about stepping up for a challenge.
Yeah.
And if Everton doesn't have that, they might be in for a long season, dude. I got to be honest. I'm a little afraid for Everton.
Their whole team's been Dominic Calvert-Lewin for like 3 years now.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
So, yeah, it doesn't look any different, honestly. Okay, what other games we got here?
I mean, I think that we could probably end off with the Aston Villa-Arsenal game because that was a big one because I don't know if you recall, but I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Arsenal beat Aston Villa last year.
Is that true, really?
I want to say that that is true, that Aston Villa was kind of Arsenal's Achilles heel last year. It was a 2-0 game. Arsenal won, but it was a banger. Trossard, had a nice goal. Didn't really celebrate much, but I wanted to ask you.
You are right. You are right, by the way. They beat them. Aston Villa beat Arsenal 2-0 April 14th, 2024, and they beat them 1-0 December 9th, 2023. So.
Right, so it's a big win for them considering they lost twice to them last year. But I wanted to ask you: is a result like this? If you're an Aston Villa fan or an Aston Villa player, are you sitting there like, are we punching above our weight here? Like, could we replicate what we did last year?
No.
You don't think
no chance.
So?
Not a chance. No. No. After
I don't even
games,
have them in my top 6, so I said that they can't.
I had them like number 5 or something. And I think I may have estimated them, I guess. Again, we're only 2 games in, but
Right. You can't sound the alarm yet for sure.
but they need to play a lot of Champions League games coming up. And
Well,
if you're
and
playing
that's what I
like
said.
yeah, if you're playing like this in the Prem already and you don't change your form around, we do have the international break coming up, so that could be a good reset for them, especially before they get into like the meat of the Champions League and everything. Um, but yeah, they need to figure something out because they are punching above their weight right now. Yes, for sure.
I mean, they started off the season with West Ham, which, we knew that was going to be a banger of a game. They skate by 2-1,
There's an
followed up with Arsenal.
expectation now, Vinny. That's the thing, right? Like, you're a Jets fan. When there's an expectation on your team and they don't perform, or not even that, when they go into a game, like the pressure's on to perform. And then when they don't perform, the doubters come in quick. And then you may start doubting yourself, right? Like, can we do this? Like, are we the same team? Was it a one and done? Right? Like you saw it happens. You saw it with Almadon, right? Like Almadon had an insane 6-month run. And then now, like the dude is not the same anymore. And he was never that player before then. Right? So sometimes we just see some players go through some absolute insane insane form, I guess, right? Like you saw it with Rashford. Not last season, but I believe the season before. Maybe it was last season. I don't know. He won like 3 Premier League Players of the Month, and he was just carrying Manchester United. And then now he's not the same. Yeah. So, and Aston Villa lost some really big players too.
Huge players.
So, and you have a lot of big players coming in, filling really big players' shoes. So, you're expected to perform. You're expected to be as good as you were last season. When a couple players on your team are trying to like acclimate to even like playing competitive games, because we all know preseason is not the same as actually playing in the Prem. The Prem is the most competitive league in the world in any sport. So there's literally no sport in the world that the worst team in the league can beat the best team in the league on any day. It could just happen. So, yeah, I mean, they definitely need to get their form together before they end up outside of the top 6.
Yeah, I mean, next week, this Saturday, I was just looking to see they have Leicester, so drop off an opponent. You start the season West Ham, then you followed up with Arsenal. Leicester is like, you could consider it a little bit of a break, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you rest on your laurels, and Leicester's up 2-0, and then you're sitting there like, whoa, now we might have to sound the alarm bells. Yeah. So I'm interested. That's going to be a game I definitely keep my eye on next week.
For sure. All right, is that it? Is that all the games?
No, I mean, there was other games, but I mean, yeah, Nottingham Forest.
Just hit me with the scores real quick, the results.
Nottingham Forest 1, Southampton 0, West Ham over Crystal Palace. They're in free fall. That might be a team that they should be afraid. And then that was pretty much it. Nothing too crazy this week. Honestly, the biggest controversy was Newcastle game. So yeah. Again, let's stay in the limelight, everybody.
What we got any big games coming up this week? Do we know?
Tomorrow, dude. Tomorrow, man. If we're gonna end with anything, we have to end with tomorrow. Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, the EFL Cup. Sandro Tonali back in action.
Is he gonna play?
Dude, he's gonna start, dude.
Do you really think so? Are they saying that, or do you think so?
I think that he's gonna start. Okay. Yes. I do.
That would be insane.
Now, here's the thing. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to get him in because it's not a Prem game, but it's a Prem opponent.
Right.
So it's the perfect, like, let's get your legs ready for what you're about to go through. I don't think we play. I believe we play Tottenham on Sunday.
Yeah,
Um,
you play Tottenham Sunday 8:30. I play Crystal
yeah,
Palace Sunday 8:30. So we'll have
I
to
don't,
stream that.
I don't, I don't foresee that Tonali's gonna start that game, but I could be wrong. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. I know he's not match ready because he hasn't played a match in, 12 months. But I think that Eddie Howe owes it to everyone to say, give him the green light. People were talking, rest Bruno. Bruno is going to play every single game this year. Bring in Tonali, have Joelinton and Longstaff in the middle with him. Let him play 45, 50, even 60 minutes. Then sub in Bruno. Let him get a little bit of a rest, but also let him get a couple 20, 30 minutes in leading up to the Tottenham game. I'd be okay with that. I'm very excited about that game. We need to win because we need to do something, right? We're starting to get into do or die mode. I don't know if silverware is necessarily a must within the next couple years, but a deep run into the EFL Cup would be massive for us.
You need good performances. That's your biggest thing for your team right now.
I have big expectations for tomorrow. I'm going out on a limb. I'm knock on wood, but I'm going 3-0.
Okay.
Isak Barry's one.
Okay.
Tonali plays. I say he starts, but I think regardless he plays. I'm looking forward to that game. It's here in New Jersey. It's 3:00, but I think it's 8:00 kickoff time tomorrow in England. So that's the game that I'm looking forward to. I'm not even looking past that game, so I don't know what kind of games we have coming up for this weekend, but I'm fully focused on that game. I think that it's a huge game, and I'm hyped for Tonali to come back. Supposedly, and I don't know this, any Newcastle fans, let me know. Supposedly, every game last year at some point, they still sang a song in honor of Tonali. Even
I'm
with him
sure.
not even there, they're still singing his name. So the fans are ready. I'm ready. Eddie Howe's probably salivating, and we all know he's ready.
Oh,
He's
he's
at the
ready.
casino right now. Oh no, he's not at the casino, but he's ready to go. He's ready. He might not be match ready, but he's ready to go out there.
So just real quick, some big games for this weekend. Arsenal play Brighton Saturday morning. That's going to be interesting. We're going to see Brighton. We're going to see if Brighton can do it, right?
If Brighton wins, I'm redoing my predictions.
Already 3 weeks in. Let's see. West Ham played Manchester City. That's Saturday at 12:30 for us, so that's 6 or 5:30, 6:30 in England. And then Sunday. Yeah, I would say Sunday morning we have our Chelsea versus Crystal Palace and Newcastle versus Tottenham game, same time. So we should try to stream that. And then
I'll be here for that stream
for sure. And then Sunday at 11 is the Manchester United Liverpool game. So 11 for us anyway. But yeah, that's one of the biggest rivalries in English football. So
Artie Slot, and dude, he is to start the way he has started. He's like trial by fire, dude.
Yeah,
absolute trial by fire.
Where I wonder if it's at Anfield.
It might be. I believe
it's at Old Trafford. It's at Old Trafford.
Ironically, though, the game that I'm most interested in, besides my own, obviously, dude, does Ipswich beat Fulham?
Didn't I just say that before? If it's going to be interesting to see them play a team like Fulham or Brighton or Bournemouth, right? Or Southampton.
Game, dude. That's going to be an absolute crazy game, in my opinion. I really think that Ipswich might. You know what? I'm calling it, dude. Ipswich upset. I'm calling it.
Yeah,
I'm calling it. I'm confident in.
They're home too.
Sammy Smodics, baby.
They're home. That guy. It's at Portman Road.
I think that's the game. That's going to be 3 points for them, baby. I'm calling it.
We'll have to watch that one. We'll talk about it next week. All right. Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, we love you so much. Seriously, this is just so much fun. We enjoy every second of it.
No, wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
MLS is back. I know most of our viewers don't care, but MLS is back. And Red Bulls, me and Matt will be at the Red Bulls game Saturday night against Philly. Big rivalry, I-95 rivalry.
Might pop up the stream for that. Just for a couple minutes.
And we'll take some videos and upload it so you guys can see that, over here across the pond, we got something going on over here. We got something going on. So I'm hyped for that. You'll see us 8 a.m. Sunday morning, and we'll probably be wrecked because we won't be home until like 1 o'clock at night.
Oh, but we'll be up. We'll be here. We'll be watching.
But we might still be a little drunk.
Most likely. That's all right. That's the English in us.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal, game. I got the grill already in my trunk, baby.
Hell yeah, let's go. All right. Well, again, thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Like I said last time, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog, especially your dog. I know your dog loves us. He wants to watch.
Check out the pod.
Yeah.
Podcast is bumping, guys. I love it. I love to see it.
We're on Spotify. Don't forget. Check us out on Spotify. Give us a follow. Check out our Twitch. Go follow us on Twitch. And again, like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you guys in a couple days for another video. And I think that's it for me. Anything else, Finn?
That's it, guys. Peace out.
All right, guys. We're out of here. Peace.